Hi guys, today I'm going to show you a few do's and don'ts about the water kefir. I've been doing this since about 6 months or so. At the beginning I didn't have a lot of success, so finally my water kefir died and I bought new ones and tried, and I tried and tested several things, and finally now I'm really good in it. I'm doubling the amount of kefir grains every 2 days. They are really large. They are large grains, much larger than these on these pictures. They are really huge. They are strong. They are like gummy bears. There are, yeah, it's really great. They are doing like crazy, and I'm in good health, so I'm doing well, and I really can recommend. But there are a couple of things you have to be aware, and some pages tell you this and some pages tell you this, and finally you're yeah, it's really difficult to find out what to do and what not to do. So based on my experience, I wanted to let you know what the good things and the bad things are, so you can do the same if you want, and hopefully you will have this same fantastic experience. So I start with the brown sugar. Of course I'm using brown sugar. A lot of pages say you can use white sugar. I don't know. I have to tell you, I have not tried these things. I have always bought the brown sugar, which is have large grains, not like this one. This has a little bit like it's when you look at it, it looks a little bit like wet. You have to buy this. Sometimes it comes in a hard plastic box, and there are larger grains, and they look totally dry, not wet at all. You should, if you want high quality brown sugar, you should buy the dry large grains, not something like this. This is cheap, also price is very low, but yeah, I mean, at the end you could be fine with that. It's up to you. I'm buying the one with the larger grains. And what about else? I want to talk about the sugar. The sugar, this is very important, that it has to be fully dissolved before you put in your kefir grains. Yeah, some people have, I've seen people doing this. Just they fill up their jar with water, put in the sugar, and immediately after that they put in the kefir grains, and they said yeah, they're doing fine, but they are wondering why their kefir grains do not multiply. So I can tell you, yeah, it's not so good. It's really not good when you have undissolved sugar grains before you put in your kefir grains. So this is the first thing you want to do. You take a clean jar, you rinse it with tap water and fill it up, and then dissolve the sugar and put everything in what you need and get it fully dissolved before you put in your kefir grains. Okay, next thing, or like some fruits. Some people really recommend that you have to have some fruits like raisins or figs. I have been very successful, so for a couple of days or even weeks, totally without fruits. For me, it seems it does not make a really big difference as long as you have other things in there, like the molasses or Himalayan salt, and yeah, some, at least some minerals and other stuff in there, so you don't need fruit. But sometimes it can be good. It gives a little bit a different taste. But the very important thing, and this is the almost the most important thing which I want to tell you today, you have to buy organic fruits. If you want to use fruits, buy organic fruits and wash them or rinse them very carefully to remove all the coatings they may have. A lot of fruits, they come with some they come with some kind of preservative on the skin. Especially the raisins can be really, really, really hard coated, because otherwise they get fungus and other things, so you have to really wash them carefully. So the same thing with other stuff like lemons. Some people recommend to put in some lemon juice or lemon slices from lemons, and the lemons also, most of them are really coated with very strong chemicals like antifungus. And if you put these things into your jar where the kefir grains, then you almost instantly kill them. So you have to be really careful about this stuff. Also the figs, they are called like something like like not a miracle thing, but some people recommend, if you wanna multiply your grains really fast, then some people recommend doing it with figs. I've been successful also without figs. I think they are not needed, but from time to time it's not bad. But actually I prefer to eat them because they're really delicious and healthy. And yeah, when they are in the kefir jar for one day, they look really ugly. You just want to spill them. I mean, yeah, but also when you use them, just be very careful. Buy organic, rinse them carefully as well. So yeah, that's the other thing which you want to do. Of course, you have to use molasses, unsulfured molasses. Some say they have organic. I don't know. I've been looking and searching through the internet for organic. Some say it's almost impossible to get it. I have seen something advertised organic. I just buy this one. It's not the cheapest, it's not the most expensive one. It's in a glass jar, and glass jars, the things which are in glass are mostly better quality, just as a rule of thumb. Yeah, and yeah, the baking powder, I always take a little bit of baking powder, not very much, just very few. Yeah, so based on my experience, it's really good. Just make sure you use the aluminum free one. And here we have the alternate thing to the lemon, the real lemon or lemon juice. I mean, this is lemon juice, this is organic lemon juice, and it has just been squeezed and bottled, and it lasts for about 2 months after you open that. It lasts for about 2 months. And so yeah, I really recommend that, because it's sometimes hard to have always fresh lemon or lemon slices, and you have to peel even. Yeah, actually, if you want to use real lemon, I actually recommend to peel it, because yeah, they are really hard coated with chemicals. And so this one has worked really good for me. It's a little bit expensive, but I mean, it costs about $5, but it lasts for 2 months, and you can use it for other things. It's really a lot of them, and yeah, it's so helpful. It saves so much time, and it's working great, so I can really recommend that. Also the Himalayan salt, I'm using something like that, a little bit cheaper, but with a grinder works really well. I give a little bit to the kefir as well. So why I'm showing the dishwasher, you have to be careful. Everything you use, like spoon, like strainer, funnel, everything you take, also the jar, everything which you take out of the dishwasher and you want to use it with the kefir, you have to rinse it, because sometimes it leaves some shiner. Most of the people use some shiner. Sometimes the shiner is already included into these dishwasher tabs, and there is some very thin coating on your whatever, like plates and spoons and wherever, and this makes it shiny and looks great, and for human, I mean, when you eat out of that, it shouldn't be a problem, but a lot of people say you shouldn't use that directly for treating your kefir grains. So I'm rinsing everything under the tap water when I take it out. So this is another very interesting topic about water kefir. Can you use metal things like metal spoons, metal strainer, metal funnel? Based on my experience, you can use that. If you use really high quality, like this one, I'm using exactly the same as here. It's not very expensive, it's about $5 or $6, and it's a combination of funnel and strainer, and it's really helpful, and it's high quality stainless steel, so you can really use that. I've been using this for many months with my kefir, and it didn't hurt the kefir. As I already told you, my kefir is multiplying every 2 days, like it's doubling the amount of kefir grains every 2 days. So, and they are strong and large and healthy, and it can't be really a problem. And I can tell you, a lot of companies, or most of the companies which are producing fermented food, like even wine or beer or whatever, they are using stainless steel. So why shouldn't you shouldn't use that? So I mean, it's quite convenient, and I can only recommend it. Just don't use like very old iron spoons, or really you see it when you take it out of the dishwasher, when they have some, you see it when they don't look good, when they look old, like oxidized. So then it's not good. But when they look exactly the same after the dishwasher, then you can be pretty sure that it's high quality stainless steel, and it won't hurt your kefir grains. So of course you have to be careful about the chlorine in your water which you're using. I'm using filtered tap water. I'm living in Florida. We have very high amounts of chlorine in our tap water, and I'm using a whole home water filter, and it's doing pretty well. Of course, there are some traces in the tap water from the chlorine, but it doesn't hurt. I mean, if you don't have any filter and you're using the tap water, it's not good for the kefir. It won't instantly kill, but on the long term it will kill. Of course, it's not good. So, but tap filtered, like with the charcoal filtered tap water, I can really recommend, because when you're doing like the reverse osmosis, then you have nothing in the like no minerals, nothing in your tap water. So I think it's a very good thing to use tap water, but you have to use charcoal filter. So next thing is the fluoride. This some people say you have to be very careful that none of the fluoride is in the tap water, because it would kill the kefir. But I'm pretty sure we have some fluoride here, because our tap water is very warm and they do everything to prevent bacteria, and they probably use fluoride, and it didn't hurt my kefir grains at all. So I think there's nothing to worry about unless you have really huge amount of that. But you have to be careful. Yeah, don't put your kefir grains at a place where it's really hot or very sunny. I mean, temperature maximum is about 30 degrees Celsius, which is about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It's better to keep it at a lower temperature. Let's say for long-term growing and storage, I wouldn't do higher. I wouldn't go higher than 28 degrees Celsius or 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So don't keep it in your car at the direct sun or something like that. If you go on holiday for maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, so you can of course keep your kefir grains in sugar water in your fridge. Just be careful that you use a loose lid and not a tight lid, otherwise it can explode. But yeah, that's a good thing when you have when you're away for a couple of days. And I've done this for 1 week, and I took it out, and it started reproducing, multiplying immediately, so I didn't have any problem. I'm not sure about the amount of sugar, but I took a lot of them. I just made sure that everything was dissolved, and then I put in the kefir grains, and it was fine. So I hope I was able to help you a little bit with that, to maintain healthy growing kefir grains. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.